everyone! Can you hear us? Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, yeah, I think we can hear both of us. All right. Welcome to Wormmon Day, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful Wormmon Day. I have created a playlist.
Oh, okay.
Of everyone's Wormmon.
I was just linking everyone in the description.
Add this to there. Okay.
There we go. So yeah, hello everyone, and welcome to Wormmon Day. As you can see, today is a special episode on Wormmon. If you think that this is not important because it is a special episode, then clearly you have never understood the purpose of an OST.
You are wrong!
Not OST, wait, what's it called?
OVA?
Yeah, OVA, that's the word.
We should have put that episode OVA.
Oh my god, we should have made this an OVA. I'm going to go back and change this later so that it's listed as an OVA. Instead of episode Worm. But yes, welcome to Monspiracy, episode Worm, Wormmon Day Special, The Secret Power of Wormmon. Yes, you should like the stream. That is a very good suggestion, Cypher. Cypher out here with them good suggestions. So, the best part about this one is, not only did I manage to oversleep, but also, Xana has not had the chance to review this script properly. Which means that you get even more mind blow than usual. So, this is the very important OVA that tells about the origin of Xander and how Wormmon saved his life.
It's true. Wormmon is the reason I'm still here today.
Yeah. Alright. So, today's episode, Worm. And to address the worm in the room, this one, called for more Wormmon. And we
I got a fever!
Listen, NASA refuses to work with us anymore. They do not have the capacity, they do not have the resources and capabilities necessary to retrieve Xana's mind, as last time it broke out of the solar system.
It's gone.
But, July 15th is now Wormmon Day. There is no debating this. There is no choice. Check the description for links to Wormmon Day videos from other Digimon content creators.
Yeah.
So, Wormmon. Wormmon is a unique Digimon, as it is a descendant of ancient species, meaning it can utilize armor evolution, and while weak on its own, it's known for having a variety of powerful evolutions. In fact, according to its Digimon Encyclopedia entry, this Digimon is the very embodiment of future potential. I'm not making that up, that is directly copied from the encyclopedia.
Wow.
And on the subject of directly copying from an encyclopedia, let's talk about the name Wormmon. So, I mean, it's pretty obvious. He's a worm. It is 100%, just very clearly, a worm. However, worm is a 100% double, like a very dangerous name to have in the context of digital networking.
Oh, yeah.
According to the Jargon File, which is a site documenting hacker jargon, the term worm refers to the following. Worm, noun, from tapeworm in John Brunner's novel The Shockwave Rider via Xerox Park. A program that propagates itself over a network, reproducing itself as a ghost. Compare virus. Nowadays the term has negative connotations, as it is assumed that only crackers write worms. Cracker being the term for malicious hacker. Perhaps the best known example was Robert T. Morris's Great Worm of 1988. A benign one that got out of control and hogged hundreds of suns and Vaxen across the US. See also Cracker, RTM, Trojan Horse, ICE. The Jargon File, version 4.4.7. While this isn't particularly connected to Wormmon itself, it has implications not only for its own evolutions, but for Digimon as a whole. And if Habu-san can use the jargon file, then so can I.
Has he officially uses this and like some of the stuff?
Where do you think they got the happy hacker memories for Hacker's Memory?
Sure. Okay, yeah, you're right.
No, like, I'm not even joking. Like, the way I found this site was I was just messing around looking up stuff that I remembered hearing about in Hacker's Memory. Like, in those little, like, trivia bits. And I found that they were basically word for word with the jargon file. Like, I'm just like, damn. Habu's been here.
Man thought of everything.
So, fun thing about this is, 1988. So, could possibly be around the early Digital Monster era prior to the Virtual Pets. It's about 9 years prior, but still around the same time period. And the interesting thing about this is how... the interesting thing about this is how a program that basically just goes around and propagates on a network kind of sounds somewhat similar to the initial Digital Monsters.
Mm.
Oh, Half-Draggy, it gets so much worse, but yes. And on that note, next up is the Wormmon evolution, known as Hoodimon. Keep spoilers to yourselves, as at least one person directly below me has not yet finished Hacker's Memory.
Foolishly was trying to get it done on stream. I should have just beat it on my own time.
Yeah. So, Hoodimon, according to their Digimon Encyclopedia entry, it is said to be like a backup of the digital world, accessing records throughout the world and storing vast amounts of record data within itself. Even if a strange phenomenon occurs in the digital world and records and memories are lost, the lost data will be restored if Hoodimon is around. It wouldn't be if you don't acknowledge that. It would not be a spoiler in itself if we don't talk about why it's a spoiler. Trust me. With that said, I mostly bring up Hoodimon because it will be important. It's a surprise tool that will help us later. Disney, don't sue me for saying that phrase.
So is Hoodimon, when were they first introduced? Was it they introduced before Hacker's Memory, or?
In Hacker's Memory.
Oh, okay, that was the first.
Yeah. I'm mostly bringing up Hoodimon as a way of, like, mentioning some important stuff for later.
Shadramon, my boy!
The boy. Now we're gonna talk armor evolutions. And showing off these two, fun fact about it, I'm pretty sure Wormmon is, like, is the only armor I can think of that has two different variants for not only one armor Digi-Egg, but two armor Digi-Eggs. Like, if you use the Digimental of Courage, you can get either of these two. If you use the Digimental of Kindness, you can get either of Pokemon.
I wonder why is that?
We'll get into that, actually.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Half-Draggy, you have no idea. But, first things first, it is time to armor our evolutions. So, recently, in the Digimon profile on Armor Evolution, Armor Evolutions were explained to exist separately from, separately from crests. So they do exist in canons where the crests do not exist, such as the Virtual Pets. However, it did still establish that each Digimental has an attribute associated with it, an elemental one, if you will. However, they don't match up perfectly with the elements of the 10 legendary warriors, but lines can be drawn. So, first off, making things easier, Shadramon and Flare Wizardmon very clearly are fire attribute.
Wait, Shadramon's evil?
Yeah,
evil?
it's got like the Grand Kuwagamon thing of like, this is the most evil thing in the network.
Oh, that sucks. I like him. What do you do?
Honestly, I feel like those ones are just since that only ever appears on like Demon Lords and Insect Digimon. I think it's just that the researcher that found them did not like bugs.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't realize that, but you're right. A lot of the bugs have that. Like, this is the most evil thing ever. Leave them alone.
Yeah.
Like, all right, geez.
Yeah. But yeah, so Shadramon very clearly has the fire attribute. Mogumon, which is a very good Digimon, but I am required to put it in F tier in order to make up for Air's transgressions against humanity and Digimon kind. Hoodimon is not an F tier. That was a terrible move, and for that, Togemugomon must take its place.
Oh, he put Hoodimon in F? Jeez.
He put Hoodimon in F, and I can never forgive him.
Oh my god.
So, so it technically is it's got ice powers. It's an ice-based Digimon. However, according to the official profile entry, the Digi-Egg of Friendship has a thunder attribute, not an ice attribute. Which is interesting, because I think more of its evolutions have to do with ice than with lightning. But we can still draw different lines, so it's not a problem. Owlmon, which has night vision, and likely was meant for scouting rather than combat, bears the wind attribute through the Digimental of Love. Searchmon, utilizes radar and radio waves, is the earth attribute. Nohemon is a plant attribute according to the profile, but that very clearly traces to wood attribute. Archeliomon, very clearly water attribute. Bullmon.
Not true.
The Digimental of Hope has a holiness attribute to itself. However, as Bullmon is a mammal-type Digimon, it is said to have inherited the power of the legendary warrior of ice. As the two Digimon that inherited its power were the two types of Digimon that inherited its power were mammal and ice snow. Coatlemon, very clearly, Digimental of light attribute, and
it's
here's
also
where
like
things
a
get
god.
weird. Digimental of Kindness does not have a clear attribute. However, the ones that we have left over are... The only one we have left over is the Dark attribute. Which, I mean, kind of makes sense. It had that potential, basically.
It is a bug, too, which apparently are the most evil things in the digital world.
Absolutely. And on the subject of bugs, let's talk gold. So,
Here we go.
Golden Armor evolutions.
Oh, I forgot about this one.
So, Wormmon is one of 5 Digimon that is compatible with both Golden Digimentals. There are 2 Golden Digimentals. There's the Digimental of Miracles, which, according to the profile, has the attribute of metal, meaning it lines up with steel, which makes too much sense in given the concept of Sephirothmon. And then, the other Golden Digimental is Fate, which does not have any kind of elemental association with it. There are 5 Digimon which are compatible with both Golden Digimentals, as in they have an evolution for using both, instead of just using one. Those 5 Digimon are Vmon, Terriermon, Wormmon, Patamon, and Plotmon/Gatomon. I am not an O2 person. I know very little about the... Miracles and Destiny are the dub terms. It's Miracles and Fate in Japan. It doesn't really matter. The important thing is that they are very shiny and gold.
Also, Fate and Destiny are, like, interchangeable.
Except
like, what's
in
really
terms of
different?
lore. They're both equally convoluted in completely different ways.
Oh, wow, that's good to know.
Oh, no, I don't mean Digimon lore. I mean, like, we're talking... That's technically two separate game franchises known for their incomprehensible lore. Fate and Destiny. But yeah, so, Plotmon and Gatomon are interesting. But, so, Plotmon is only compatible with the Digimental of Destiny, and Gatomon is only compatible with the Digimental of Miracles. But since Gatomon is a fucking Mary Sue, this technically means that she qualifies. Have I ever made clear how much I dislike that line?
No. I was gonna actually ask you. I was like, is there something?
I personally despise the adventure Gatomon line for no reason of it, for no fault of its own. The evolution path itself actually is very much up my alley. You go from a cat blob to a dog to a cat to an angel woman to either an angel woman or a very fluffy dragon.
Yeah.
Totally up my alley. The problem is the weird obsession with keeping Gatomon a Gatomon that the adventure canon seems to have. Like, just let Plotmon have screen time, damn it!
Oh, okay, yeah. That always confused me too growing up, because I always thought that Gatomon was a rookie. Because like every time everyone
O2 basically made up shit, stole an aspect of her design, and were like, see, she's totally a rookie level now, guys. Come on.
Obviously.
Totally different. Yeah. Yes, that's actually what we were going to get to. Of the 5 Digimon, okay, yeah, that's a good point. In Try, she did get to mess with a Mugendramon. But, yeah. So, of the 5 Digimon that are compatible with both Golden Digimentals, 3 of them, technically, have the same Digimon occur when using both Digimentals. As in, you can use Miracles or Destiny, and you get the same result. Those 3 Digimon are Wormmon to Kongomon, Patamon to Rhinomon, and Plotmon/Gatomon to Maildramon. Now, excluding Wormmon here, we have to point out the other 2 are explicitly wholly aligned Digimon that are with evolutions directly involved in the management of the digital world.
Going.
Combined with Kongomon's encyclopedia entry referring to it as a servant of God in ancient times, this makes a strong case for Wormmon to be a major player in the basic functioning and overseeing of the digital world network, especially as Kongomon is the only one explicitly connected to Colonel or God of those 3 Golden Armor evolutions.
Man, sorry, chill. I thought this was gonna be a chill, wormy episode, and my brain's already starting to hurt.
It gets worse.
Oh god.
Now for a quick tangent of V's and Terriers. Hurricane Touchdown, aka Digimon the Movie Act 3, paints a picture of Vmon and Terriermon being parallels, with primarily via Magnamon and Rapidmon Gold. In fact, Rapidmon Gold's status as an enhanced higher stage version of Rapidmon Green some theorize think that suggests the existence of a Magnamon Blue, or some kind of Magnamon variant, that exists as the natural perfect stage of XVmon, in the same way that Rapidmon is the natural perfect stage of Terriermon, and if you, as some people believe, Jewelbemon as the natural perfect evolution of Stingmon.
I'm on that camp. I really like Jewelbemon.
Yeah, I 100% think that XVmon deserves its own perfect, because it deserves its own perfect, and it deserves its own Bancho Stingmon equivalent Mega, which is true for all of the O2 kids, because the Jogresses should be special, which means that the Digimon shouldn't have to follow the Jogress line, and
yeah,
I very much dislike the conflation of Vmon with its slightly related counterpart, the Vdramon line, because Vdramon and its evolutions are an Agumon Evo path.
I was gonna be like, oh, dude, there's always Arrow Vdramon.
No, there is not.
Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, I don't even think there's any possible, at least that exists right now, any possible alternative for XVmon. I don't think there is.
Yeah, it literally every time XVmon shows up, it's either Paildramon, Dinobemon, or Arrow Vdramon.
Which I mean,
although the Vital Bracelet did do the neat thing of putting Sagittariumon as a perfect level.
Oh yeah, that was actually pretty cool too. That's kind of like it's not officially, but it's kind of like an amalgam of all of its armor evolutions.
Yep.
But that wouldn't be a bad idea for his perfect. I'd be down for that.
100%.
If that was his perfect, then what would be his mega?
I do not know. Well, actually, I do. Magnamon.
Bancho XV1. Oh yeah, Magnamon, yeah, too.
But yeah, so, finishing off this tangent, it's time for the other side of the coin. A Jogress of fate rather than miracles. If V and Terrier are parallels, and Wormmon is a major part of Paildramon and Dinobemon's true potential, then could a counterpart exist for a Jogress in which XVmon is replaced by Gargomon? And, to not have them stepping on each other's toes, perhaps this Jogress would utilize the recently discovered Hoodymon? Now, fair warning, I like to make sprite art, however, I did not have the time, nor the patience, nor the spoons, to make pixel art of the Digimon we are now going to hypothetically address. Anyone who would like to make art is free to do so. I will not hold these concepts hostage in any capacity. However, I cannot compensate you, for I am poor and literally only just got a job today.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you. It means I am very excited because that means I can stay and keep streaming. So, first things first, Gargomon and Hoodymon DNA Digivolve to Carnaheadmon. It comes from Tooth. Thank you. But yeah. Thank you for congratulating me on the job. I am very excited. I get to work at a local science museum. I'm fucking excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's I get to stand there, and I basically get to just be a tour guide and talk to people about things that I know too much about already, and they actually want to listen. And it's air conditioned. This is literally the best job.
Woo!
Yeah.
And we're gonna woo! Living drama woo in the chat.
Yeah. But yeah, so Carnahead. But enough distracting with my job. We need to get back to blowing Xan's mind. So, Galgamon plus Hoodymon, Carnaheadmon. Its name coming from Carnassial, which is dog teeth, and Hydelidae, which is a moth butterfly species specifically excluded from the Papilio family. It is a Beastman type Digimon, and the hypothetical profile I wrote up is a Beastman Digimon that DNA digivolved from Gargomon and a Hoodymon. Its precision has increased as a result of Hootymon's compound eyes, and so it has exchanged Gargomon's Vulcans for a sniper rifle. While it wields the weapon of an assassin, the ammunition of its rifle contains a virus that copies the data in the target's digicore and stores them within its memory data in a technique called Dreamcatcher. It can also use this data to develop a specialized virus that perfectly flips each bit of the opponent's data, freezing it. This attack is called Nightmare Paralysis. So I was thinking kind of like a dream/sleep paralysis kind of vibe for this one.
I like it.
Yeah. And then, of course, every Jogress has its inverse. So with Hootymon in the lead, we get Pupiliomon, pup coming from dog, and Papilionio. Yeah, that's a word. It's not Latin. I am calling it right now. I studied Latin. Latin does not use that many syllables in anything. It would be a cyborg-type Digimon that DNA digivolved from a Hootymon and a Gargomon. It resembles an orbital satellite, and its purpose seems to be data collection. Analysis of its network suggests that the Hootymon and Carnaheadmon of the network are sending data to it, but where that data is sent remains to be discovered. Its special moves are Analyze Bubble, in which a spherical field surrounds it and protects it while analyzing the opponent's attack, and Mirror Replica, which uses that data to replicate the attack it negated.
That's also pretty sick, actually.
Oh, it gets better.
Oh boy.
Because now we gotta talk about Megas. First things first, Pupiliomon will evolve into Gakilemon. The name comes from the Megakile Pluto Queen Bee, which is the biggest known queen with a 2.5-inch wingspan and large jaws very reminiscent of the Kuwagumon line, which I thought would probably form a crown of some kind, and you'll see why very soon.
What the fuck? I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna regret this, but I'm gonna Google that. I've never heard of that before. It's terrifying.
Yeah. And while you're Googling, just to mention this, the names for all of the invented Digimon that have come thus far come to us courtesy of Digital Hazard, as I am terrible at naming things, and I ask for help.
Oh, that's a bee?
Yep. Queen bee.
What? In God's name? Oh my god. That's terrifying. Oh
yeah.
My god. It's literally like a bee and Grand Kuwagumon.
Yeah, if Grand Kuwagumon was a bee. Which is precisely what we're going for here.
Okay! I regret looking that up.
Alright. Now, this is where shit gets interesting. So, Gakilemon is an insectoid-type Digimon. The Queen of the HiveNet, a network consisting of all Wormmon and their evolutions, while Wormmon retain their free will and allegiance, as they evolve into less connected forms, they become more independent. It can be said that if a Digimon has Wormmon or Wormmon-associated data in its Digicore, it is a part of the HiveNet. The HiveNet serves as a massive backup for all digital worlds and the digital world network as a whole, and it consists of many virtual spaces called colonies. It exists to ensure total restoration even in the event of a fatal error on a host computer, and as such collects data from all Pupiliomon that serve as backups for their worlds. And Grand Kuwagumon's Dimensional Scissor serves as a means of opening gateways to their colonies. Gakilemon's role is to process and source this data, and while it is considered the queen of its colony, it is said that there is a higher authority that can mobilize the entire network in a crisis. Its special abilities are Memory Overflow, where it floods the opponent's mind with so much information that it rolls back over to blank, stunning them, and Load State, which reverts the target to an earlier state which can be used both offensively or to heal allies. Like I said, Kongomon very much suggests that Wormmon is integral to the functioning of the digital world.
Yeah. Saying. Interesting. And, I forgot that was the case with all of the. That's the case. Well, no, I mean, the thing about all the O2 protagonists, they're all like ancient species of Digimon.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that. So it does make you wonder, like, all of them are really more important than we give them credit for.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Just Vmon gets like more of the spotlight because, like, that's the main one. But yeah.
Oh, I absolutely will post the descriptions in the Discord after, don't worry. And on the subject of descriptions, we've got quite a few more to go.
Oh boy.
First things first, of course. We've got to talk about Carnaheadmon. This name, as you can very clearly see, is one I came up with, as it's dumb and stupid. Carnaheadmon will evolve into Metro Lobomon Wolf Mode, which is just basically an attempt to invert Imperial Dramon Paladin's mode, Imperial Dramon's name. It is an ancient wolf type Digimon, and a mechanized wolf Digimon that came into being during the ancient digital world. It evolved using an SFTP program, or Secure File Transfer Protocol, so it excels in transporting data, objects, and passengers throughout the network, and as such, it can be seen as a predecessor to the Trailmon and Locomon species. Wait, sorry, I lost where I was. Okay, there it is. Its special moves are Warp Claw, where it deploys the wheels on its leg and charges at the enemy to slash them, and Port Access, where it lowers itself onto the treads on its underside and transports itself and the target to an entirely different location on the network. It is said that it also possesses a stationary deploy mode, in which its true potential can manifest, though this is yet to be seen. So, to make it more clear, Gakilemon is our Grand Kuwagamon parallel. Metro Lobomon is our Imperial Dramon parallel. Which means that our Fighter Mode parallel is Metro Lobomon Deploy Mode. The chassis of Imperial Dramon Dragon Mode is an ancient dragon type Digimon, whereas Fighter Mode is an ancient dragon man type Digimon. So, we're going from an ancient wolf type Digimon to an ancient wolf weapon type Digimon. The chassis of Metro Lobomon has split in half across its back and has opened to reveal a mobile base. I didn't really know how to put it into words, but like, if you've ever seen the G1 Optimus Prime and how its trailer opens up,
I was gonna say, is it like the G1
exactly
trailer?
Like that.
Yeah.
Which Diaclone loved so much that they remade it like 6 times now.
Diaclone loves it. Hasbro loves it. They've done that trailer to death.
Oh no, I'm talking about how Diaclone has taken the concept of what if we have trailer and then it opens up down the middle from the top and then folds out into a base so many times that it's the legs of a giant combiner. It's been Prime's trailer itself was remade as a massive super mobile base. They then released a slightly modified version of that trailer so that it's like not as long, but instead now has like a full-on like a basically mobilized version of that, like kind of like mecha arm hanger sort of feel, but in a trailer.
Wow.
And then they very recently actually announced another one that is a smaller scale, just like transport truck, but it can be configured as a small mobile base. Diaclone loves making Prime-style mobile bases. It's amazing. I don't know why we're talking about that in the Digimon stream, but let's get back to the topic at hand. So, it has opened to reveal a mobile base. 2 drone units are ready to be scrambled, and any personnel that were being transported are prepared for combat. It is commanded by the unit ML Captain, which provides tactical support and operates the weaponry of deploy mode. However, it is said that it can achieve even greater power when partnered with one who chases their wish with all their heart. Yeah, I'm sorry. When I post this in the Discord, I'll post pictures of what I mean by the base so that you can get a good feel for it. And so what's a parallel without a paradin? I'm sorry, I'm very proud of this pun. So, rather than gain power from Omegamon, Metro Lobomon would have to be gaining power from Alter S, right? And if it's Alter S, rather than making a sword, it'd be a giant gun, right?
Goddamn right.
So, gaining its Omega Launcher, or Omega Launcher S, it becomes Artillery Mode. Type: Ancient Holy Weapon. The deploy mode of Metro Lobomon was enhanced by the power of Omegamon Alter S. Alter S's main body has been converted into the Omega Launcher S, which can switch functions between a railgun and a catapult for launching units. Its drones have been enhanced to become humanoid fighters, gaining increased mobility and combat data from Alter S's components. Unit 1B can fight as a close-range grappler or a long-range heavy ammunitions that fights using plasma, and Unit 2C is a mid-range fighter which is skilled in a variety of bladed weapons. Not much is known beyond this, but it seems to be the counterpart of Imperial Digimon Paladin Mode, serving as the pinnacle of Wolf Digimon in the same way its rival does for Dragon Digimon.
You know, I find it hilarious because they were joking earlier, like, oh no. Someone was like, oh, Hoodimon with a gun is the ultimate final form, and that's literally what we did. That's exactly what you did. You're like,
yeah.
Yes, Hoodimon gun mode.
Yep. So that's it then, right?
Oh god, what else?
Wrong! I have a dog. I have a dragon man. Boom! Knight with heads for fists. That's right. We stole the power of both Omegamon so we could combine the Omegamon into an Omegamon.
Oh my god.
One Omegamon equal to the gods. Akashimon Terminal Omega.
It's gonna pierce the heavens.
Born of the core of the Digital World Network's backup system, based on a memory of a time when Salvation was born of the fusion of a dragon and wolf. It is the ultimate fusion between the pinnacles of both dragon and wolf Digimon. It is the HiveNet's true highest authority, as it is the final line of defense against any crisis faced by the network, and once its existence is proven, it can be deployed from any Wormmon in the larger HiveNet. It wields the Omega Dragon Sword and Omega Wolf Launcher, which can emulate any physical or ranged attack that has been recorded respectively. Its special attacks are Worm Omega, where it creates copies of itself from any and all Wormmon on the current terminal, and Restore Backup, where it uses the memories of the HiveNet to restore and repair damaged data. In short, I want you to imagine Imperial Digimon like the version of Imperial Digimon Paladin mode that's like in Dragon mode, because every time they make a figure of Paladin mode, it's a repaint of a Dragon mode Fighter mode figure.
Yes.
And the wolf equivalent of that as the hands of an Omegamon.
Cool.
This is the true power of Wormmon.
Wormmon's final form.
Yeah. According to my official, unofficial guide to levels, let me see. So get Mega, then technically, Paladin mode and Artillery mode would be Super Ultimate. Then the next one, I believe, is actually this would classify as a Tengen top-up. which is terrifying because that implies that it can go even further.
It can get even bigger.
Yes, I have not actually planned what it would become when it gets even bigger, but it will. Yes, remember everyone. Yes, this is a fusion of fusions powered by fusions. It is a very Gurren Lagann kind of feel, which is why I had to make that reference.
I just realized, though, now that we're talking about fusions, how many fusions deep, like, how many, like, layers exist, you know, as far as, like, fusions go? I want to say Paladin mode's probably the most, right?
Canonically, I would say that Paladin mode is probably, yeah. Because in order to make Paladin mode, you need 4 Digimon total.
Because technically, now that I'm thinking about it, we were just talking about the Warrior 10, there's also Susanomon, because that's technically, like, what, 10? 11 Digimon?
But that's, like, kind of iffy.
Because it's, like, the spirits, not the actual Digimon?
Because it's the spirits, and also because any one Digimon that has access to all 10 spirits can become Susanomon. And then you also have to factor in how, like, Digicross simultaneously is and isn't fusing them together.
Oh yeah, did they do a profile on that?
No, and I'm mad still because we haven't gotten.
I'm mad now too because they're trying to canonize Crosswords, but they need to figure out how the fuck that works. Maybe they're all still arguing about how it should work or not.
Yeah, I would get that. I'm honestly surprised we didn't see anything about it in the DNA Digivolution one.
Same. Which means if they not mentioning it must be deliberate. That maybe they are different. Like they're not the same as the DNA Digivolution.
So there's actually kind of a precedent for that. In the manga, it was established that using Digicross in order to form a specific Digimon is not as strong as that Digimon if it were to appear naturally.
Okay.
So, as an example, if you have a... Yeah, that's a good one. Agumon Professor left to go to the digital world to ask what the crossword system is. But yeah, if you have a Wargreymon and a Metal Garurumon, and you fuse them together, you get Omegamon. If you Jogress them together, you still get Omegamon. However, if you... or actually, no. According to Profile, it was a bit more convoluted than that. If you have a Wargreymon and a Metal Garurumon, you can fuse them together to get Omegamon. If you use Digicross to get Omegamon, it will still produce Omegamon, but that Omegamon's power level will not be the same. Presumably, this is because both Jogress and Fusion are involve in most cases, the combination of the Digicores in some capacity, or at the very least, the way that they interact is substantially changed. So, for example, Chaosmon's Digicores do not fuse together. However, it does have the Digicores interacting in a capacity where they are a singular entity. And Ragnarlordmon, while the Digicores do fuse together, the individual personalities of Durandamon and Browiludramon do not coalesce into one.
Yeah, because they can still control themselves as a weapon in that form.
Yeah.
This sounds like worthy of an entire episode, honestly.
That's why we did one.
Well, specifically about like a follow-up almost. Because we did do one on Jogressing and DNA Digivolution, but like a special, like, I don't know, because I like what we're talking about, like what is considered fusion, because like you said, Chaosmon, the Digicores aren't fused with Dragonlordmon. They are, but still aren't.
So here's how I would put it. In order to be considered a Jogress or fusion, the requirement isn't so much dependent on the Digicores combining as it is, or the consciousnesses combining, so much as it is a system in which those regularly occur.
Yeah.
Ragnarlordmon and Chaosmon being exceptions.
However, or even
Digicross
what about...
is stated to operate on an entirely different system.
Mm.
As with Digicross, you can do something along the lines of like for example with Digicross, you can do something along how to get Imperial Dramon Paladin mode normally. You have an Agumon, a Gabumon, a Vmon, and a Wormmon. Evolve them all to their quote-unquote natural champions. Greymon to Metal Grey, Garurumon to Weregaruru, XV and Sting to Paildra. Go to the Mega level, you get Wargrey, Metal Garuru, Dragon Mode, and then you would combine and mode change Omegamon, Fighter Mode, then combine Paladin Mode. With Digicross, you could skip the Omegamon stage, have Wargreymon, Metal Garurumon, and Imperial Dramon Dragon Mode fused together, and get Paladin Mode.
Mm.
The reason being for this is that a Digicross stage is dependent on Digicross is not dependent on the actual stage or configuration of the Digimon involved. So you don't need Shoutmon X. So like with a Jogress, if you were Jogressing to Shoutmon X3, you would need Shoutmon X2 and Darulumon. However, with the Digicross system, you can have Shoutmon X2 and Darulumon, or you can have Shoutmon, Ballistamon, and Darulumon. In addition to that, the way Digicross works in terms of the actual capacity, it does not fuse the Digicores together, and it does not actually and it does not in any way fuse their consciousnesses. The component Digimon can actually voice their opinions and concerns and be heard not only by the core Digimon, but by people around them.
Because, is Alphamon, or you can still consider Jogress?
It'd be a fusion, probably.
Because, it's not... I mean, he gets... Alphamon slightly changes, but he's really just holding a weapon.
Which is why we consider Ryugumon's line to be the prototype for all legend arms.
It has to be. It's kind of shocking to me that, they didn't do that. They didn't say, oh, he's the progenitor, or he is in Legend Arms himself. They mentioned Legend Arms, but they didn't really say anything about Ryuguman, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
I'm down for it. I mean, he's gonna show up in Ghost Game, so, Ghost Game's gonna do something with the Legend Arms idea. So, yeah. It's just a matter of waiting till, he actually shows up.
Legitimately, my favorite episode of Ghost Game by far was Zukomon showing up. That was so
my god,
good.
it was so cool.
It was so cool. We finally saw a Digimon wielding a Legend Arms.
Which is nuts. That hasn't happened until now. That's crazy.
Technically, the closest thing we got is Spatamon appeared in the Cross Wars anime, and so they used him there. But that doesn't matter, because in the Cross Wars anime, you can turn any Digimon into a weapon.
Yeah, that's true. That's not really... that's not really, blowing anyone's minds.
Yeah.
I think, what else? There's something... I just caught up on Ghost Game, actually, funny enough, now that you mention it. What was the last episode? What was the last episode that just aired? Was it the one where Kyoshiro fucking dies, or is that...
Yeah, that's Kyo. Kyo died.
That's the newest one?
Yeah. Spoiler alert, number one. Latest episode of Ghost Game, Kyo died.
Yeah. Kyoshiro fucking dies. I just love that like, it just happened.
Yeah. Oh, no. See, Half Dragon. The reason Zupamon's face looked like that in the episode is actually because of, it's... See, they didn't properly portray it in previous media, but Zupamon is actually a variant of Betamon, and so that's why its head is very salamander or frog-shaped.
Wait, is he? Is that real shit?
No, but do you remember that meme I made where I was just like, yes, Zubetamon.
Yeah, yes. He does look a little weird, but honestly, I don't, like, mind it. Like, I don't think it's...
Better off-model than not at all.
Yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't argue it's off-model, because that, like, we've never seen him in action. There's only, like, a couple images of him, so, like...
I mean, technically speaking, it is still off-model, because we've had 3D models of him for a while. So we do know what he's supposed to look like.
I thought he looked fine.
I did too.
It's a little off, but...
But, yeah. Yeah, Kyo died, but he got better.
That was a very weird, that was an extremely weird episode.
Yeah. Like, they went so hard on... Ooh, Cypher, that's a good idea. What if Spatamon doesn't have a Digivolution line? Because it's actually meant to wield Legend Arms rather than be one.
Oh, it's supposed to hold them. Ooh, I like that idea. I really wish Spatamon were to show up.
Yeah. That would mean that Spatamon's only, like, evolution... Like, Spatamon's evolution would end up being the true form of Ragnalordmon, rather than Karamon X. Speaking of Karamon X, though, I have found that, like, every single time something remotely to do with, like, internet connectivity goes wrong, I just immediately have that GIF ready to post. Like, Twitter went down for, like, 20 minutes the other day, and I just, like, immediately afterwards, I'm just like, Karamon.
You know, who mentioned it? Was it? Yeah, it was... No. Shit, who mentioned it? I gotta find it. Hold on. Yeah, it was Bill Cipher. Merciful mode. How many people go into merciful mode? I thought it was just Omegamon and, like, Mekumon.
Mekumon has a merciful mode?
I think so.
I've only ever heard merciful mode for Omegamon.
Let me see.
As the fusion of... As, like, a fusion of, like, all the adventure partners. Which, that reminds me. Merciful mode is such a stupid design for what it's supposed to be. Like, how do you come to the idea of, yes, let's make a fusion of all the mega level partners of the adventure team, instead of being like, okay, so if we're gonna make a fusion, like, how do you have that concept and you're like, alright, we're gonna take Omegamon, we're going to paint the heads white, we're going to give it wings instead of a cape, and we're going to change all of, like, the detail and linings to, like, a glowy light blue, and then we're gonna give it a katana. That's gonna be it. That's gonna be perfect. No! If you're fusing those bastards together, you're going to take you're going to, first off, not forget the O2 kids. You're going to have Omegamon, and you're going to have Paladin mode. Then you're going to have the remaining 4 of the 6 older kids are going to get their own Omegamons, and then you're going to have those Omegamons basically Paladin mode, the O2 partners. Come on! You have a formula on how this should work! And then once you have the Paladin modes of the 3 O2 Megas, then you combine those into one Super Digimon.
Forgot it was all the original Adventure Megas. Yeah, like
yeah, of course you did, because there's no sign of them.
Yeah, its look is like its look is not evocative of like what goes into it at all. Mm-hmm. But I do like how it looks. I think it is a nice.
No, it's a cool design. It's just completely fails its purpose. Cypher, like, you are correct on that front. A really good way of doing merciful mode would have been if Tri had been able to build up a... Grace Novamon would have been like a cool fit for that.
Oh yeah.
But like something that they could have done, something that they definitely should have done is especially in the adventure canon, since Omegamon's body exists independent of Agumon and Gabumon, and can become like the Omega Sword. Something they should have done, since all of the adventure kids had Megas now, is basically do arm swaps, kind of like 2020, except with the different partners. So like
that would be cool.
Especially because then we could make a hypothetical version of our war game in which we actually get the true form of Omegamon, which would be having War Greymon and Hercules Kabuterimon.
What? Oh, wait, what?
Listen. The only reason anyone in Japan is alive by the end of our war game is Izzy. And the fact that Izzy does not get the recognition he deserves by being a part of Omegamon is appalling and stupid.
No, it's kind of... I in the video I'm editing right now, I mentioned how I'm, like, genuinely surprised that Izzy still doesn't have, like, their own dim. Like, there's no...
Tentomon dim?
Yeah, there's no Tentomon dim at all.
It's really surprising because Tentomon is such a popular Digimon even on its own.
Especially in Japan. Like, I don't think they're very big in, like, the West, but I know in Japan they were, like, super fucking popular, and, like, for some reason we still don't have a dim for them, which I think is just...
Not only that, Wormmon's our only bug rookie.
Wait, what?
Wormmon is the only bug rookie we've had on a dim.
You're right. You are fucking right.
Literally the only exception to that is we have the roster for the Spirit of Thunder, but...
Strange. Very strange.
It is strange. And
like,
yeah, we haven't seen Gomamon either.
Nope. No Gomamon, no Patamon, no Gatomon, and who else are we missing? Just a few more. Look, there's someone else. No Betamon still. They showed Betamon on, like, everything. I don't know how the hell there's no Betamon.
Yeah. No Piyomon, yeah. Basically the only adventure mons that we've gotten are Agumon and Kabumon.
Yeah. Actually, we're finally gonna make Betamon, because isn't Betamon the bad care rookie in version 1?
Listen, I would not at all be surprised if the way they do the anniversary one is like Digimon Mini version 1 style.
Digimon what?
Digimon Mini version 1, where they actually just, like, take the classic lines of Agumon and Gabumon and put them in a dim instead.
Oh. I think that might be what they do.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that's actually, I think, the most logical take I've seen anyone take with that, because you are absolutely right. Hold on. Because, yeah, let me see. How much? 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh yeah, Palmon was in Hermit of the Jungle, so we got 3 Adventure Mons of the original 8.
Yeah. And it's strange because, like, they did show Palmon, and then, like, they announced Hermit in the Jungle, like, right after that. But they've been showing the fuck out of Betamon, and we still don't have that.
Speaking of which, another Digimon that's shown in basically all of the promo material for the Vital Brace but still hasn't shown up, Rise Greymon.
We're still missing Rise.
Yeah.
I mean, we're on Frontier. I am expecting a
Saber's celebration in the future.
Yeah. I mean, why not? I feel like when would Saber's anniversary be? In another year? Another 2 more years? No, it'd be 5 years.
Yeah,
no, it'd be fucking 5 years. Shit.
There's no way Bandai's gonna wait that long.
Nah, they'll just do it. And I wouldn't even mind. That's definitely that's something I want to see. I want to see Saber's dim. I don't care if there's no anniversary.
Honestly,
I mean,
I'm kind of surprised that they didn't like save Victory and Zed for that.
I don't know why they did that either. I mean, I get the idea with like making Shadow Howl and
I mean, to be honest, having read the next manga, those 2 Digimon aren't particularly attached to the Sabers lines, and the fact that the Sabers lines are more well known for their anime megas than they are for their manga counterparts, it makes sense.
But it makes you wonder, like, if we're still gonna have... Yeah, but if you're gonna still have... I don't know... I mean, we might get more megas now per dim if every card from now on is gonna be a BE cross card.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're gonna adhere to 4 megas only for Sabers now, like, who the hell are they gonna put in there? Because, like, obviously there's gonna be the normal and the burst modes. But then, like, what else would you put in there now that we don't have... I mean, they might just repeat those. I wouldn't be surprised.
They could repeat them. They could use bad guy mons instead. They could... There's a variety of things they could do.
Oh, you know what? At least with the Greymon, at least with the, like, let's say we got a Saber's Agumon card. I mean, if we were to get Saber's cards, we would get, like, 3 or 4 tops.
We'd probably get in sets of... We'd probably get, like, Agumon and then Lalamon, and then a pack of Gaomon and Falcomon.
Yeah. If they didn't want to do Slightmon too.
Oh yeah, Slightmon, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and someone had to do Kudamon as well. They would either be like 4 or 5 tops, most likely 3. And then like for the Agumon one, it would probably, as far as megas are concerned, it would have Shining Greymon, Shining Greymon.
Burst mode, Ruin mode, and Bancho Leomon.
Yes. And then for Gaomon would be Mirage Galga.
Mirage and Burst. And then...
I can't think of anything. Oh,
Mirage?
Wait, was Wargreymon X? We haven't gotten Wargreymon X yet, huh?
X Antibody is weird in the context of the DIMs. X Antibody is weird in general because Bandai basically has fallen into the trap of every time they bring up the X Antibody, they go ham on the X Antibody.
Yeah, they just can't.
And then they think that they've burnt out the X antibodies, so they tuck it away and act like it never happened.
Which were like pseudo in that phase, because like
Yeah.
right now the X evolutions are like, oh, like we need an extra slot, and they keep getting pissed off that we reuse slots. Like, fuck it, put the X evolution in there, and then everyone's
happy with it.
I am. I know. I don't even mind. Like, you know, the EX, they were like, oh, they don't want us to reuse the EX or the GP evolutions. Fuck it, put Digimon X in there, and I was like, oh shit, let's go.
Yeah.
I like Digimon X. He's cool.
Yeah.
I like all the X ones.
All right. I hate to cut things early, but as you guys may have noticed, I overslept for this stream, and I actually haven't eaten since... I haven't eaten since, so I think that this might be a good place to call it.
I mean, we are done with it. Happy Worm Monday, everyone.
Happy Worm Monday.
I love you, Wormmon.
Please check out everyone in the description.
Yes, and I also have a playlist. I don't know how the fuck I'm going to share that, but I have a playlist of everyone's stuff for the day. We'll figure out a way to share that, but we have the playlist also of everyone else's videos.
Once we're done, I can put the playlist in the description. So yeah.
But yeah, thank you all so much for stopping by. Happy Wormmon Day. This is the funniest thing I think we've done.
100%. I hope we do more shit like this.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Odaiba Day is coming up.
Odaiba Day is coming up.
So I don't know if we all have something planned exactly for that day. I will be 100% honest. I do not. You know, we'll see if maybe we'll try to figure out something to do with that. I know some. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but no, they already uploaded it.
Yeah.
Digital Dream is doing something.
Go check out Digital Dream. They've got planned.
Yeah, they're doing something for Odaiba Day, and I want to submit to that as well. But I don't know if I'm going to do my own solo thing or what. But yeah, have a great day, everyone. And yeah, bye.
Bye. Ah, God.
A fake Digimon stream where Azure and Xana review fan Digimon from the Discord. That would actually be kind of fun.
That sounds awesome. We should totally do that at some point. Bye, everyone.
Peace.